do a 48-hour fast. Now, you might at first think that's extreme, but the amount of health that's going to be generated in your body on all levels is going to be incredible. Not to mention your metabolism, it's going to improve. And you're going to also bust through that set point, that weight level that you just can't seem to get past. I think this is a really good pattern for not just weight loss, but health in general, and also as an anti-cancer thing. Make sure you take your electrolytes, B vitamins, and sea salt anytime you do fasting. Okay. Number 9, very important. How significant stress is with your weight, with your metabolism, with increasing cortisol. You need to do what's called a stress detox, okay? And the biggest source of stress is other people. So you want to avoid any and all people who stress you out. There's really 2 groups of people. People that are bringing you up and people that are bringing you down. Anyone that brings you down or stresses you out, you want to just put them on pause for a while, and your stress level is going to go down. And you also want to stop watching the news. Why? Because it's mostly bad news. There's not a lot of good news. And also try to limit as much as you can. So if you don't watch the news, don't hang out with these people, you're not going to have a lot of bad news. And that is going to make a huge shift in your sanity, your stress level, and cortisol. You want to keep super busy, okay? Why? So you don't have time to think too much, right? And start worrying and being stressed out. So many people, if they have idle time, get to thinking and start to stress themselves out. And too much thinking, especially if it's like analyzing different problems constantly, can definitely increase your cortisol level. So you just want to stay really busy so you can keep your mind off these problems for a period of time, as well as preventing boredom, right? Because the worst thing you can do is sit around while there's food in the kitchen and not be busy. Okay, so that's that one. And then physical work or exercise 2 to 3 times a week for 1 hour. I would recommend doing more physical work if you can, because that's very therapeutic. Why? Because apparently this also handles the mental stress at the same time more than actual exercise does. Now, the type of exercise you want to do is something like significant, something that you're going to get sore the next day. You really want to work your full body. High intensity interval training would be the best, not just like 5 minutes. You really want to work out till you get tired. And you might not be able to do that without the help of a personal trainer. So you might want to think about that. Get as much sun as you can without burning yourself, because this is very therapeutic to reduce cortisol. Real quick, I had a patient once who had this huge belly. And every time he went down to Florida for a vacation, he'd come back, his stomach was completely flat. And he wouldn't change his diet, but he was out in the sun. And the fresh air and the sun and the lower stress just reduced his cortisol. Also, be around nature as much as possible. Number 10, fermented veggies, like 1 cup, like either sauerkraut or kimchi a day, is really going to help your gut and your sleeping, which I'm going to mention. Or if you can't do that, just take a probiotic before bed. It's going to help your sleep and it's going to help you lose more weight. All right, number 11, support the beta cell. What's the beta cell? That's the cell, the pancreas, that's regulating and producing insulin. So you want to make sure you have enough potassium foods, magnesium foods. Those are the big salads, vitamin D. You can also get these as a supplement from electrolytes, but vitamin D is very, very important with your pancreas and helping you lower insulin, and so is B1 in the form of nutritional yeast. These 4 are really good to help insulin resistance and to help the pancreas. And last but not least, number 12, sleep. If possible, I would recommend going to bed at 9:30. That might sound pretty drastic, but that's what time I go to bed. And you get this cycle down where, you go to bed and try to get as much sleep as you can. You might wake up in the middle of the night, but just try to get back to sleep and try to sleep as long as possible, okay? Get at least 8 hours. Very, very important.